What's up, brand builders? Today is a social media topic. Um, Instagram is a fantastic channel for fashion, clothing, and apparel brands. And if you're just starting out with your fashion brand, or you have an amazing idea for a new store, then it's very obvious, at least these days, that it is very difficult to grow your brand. The market is highly saturated. It's very noisy. Brands are popping up everywhere. So if someone asks you what is the toughest job about building a brand or um, having success with your brand, then it's probably getting into your consumers' minds. I mean, that would be the toughest job, isn't it? Understanding consumers, getting into their mindset, aligning with their worldview, communicating effectively with your target audience, and then, of course, building a relationship that will translate into leads or sales is that's the ultimate funnel. And the starting point, which is understanding and getting into the head of your customers, that is the toughest job. So with so much noise out there, with so much competition out there, how do you get your target audience to speak about your brand, to think about your brand, to consider your brand, to give their attention to your brand? There are many, many marketing strategies, and I cover each of these strategies in various videos in the series. But marketing on Instagram is probably right up there. It's one of the best possible channels for a budding new fashion or clothing brand. Now, a lot of entrepreneurs or brands, um, well, there are a lot of brands that have success on Instagram, but at the same time, there are a lot more that simply write off Instagram or even the whole social media as saying, it's not really effective. I'm not really getting any traction. They do spend a lot of time on social media, on Instagram, but do not seem to get the fruits of their efforts. So there's no return on investment. On social media, especially on Instagram, the key is finding influencers and building a relationship with these influencers and utilizing these influencers to grow your brand recall, to grow your brand awareness. It is no wonder that even large fashion brands like H&M or Zara or Louis Vuitton, Prada, any of these big brands or even the smaller brands are, they use influencers as a huge part of their marketing strategy. So how do you work with influencers? How do you get into the minds of influencers? So how do you align with your influencers to enable them to help your brand grow? So what is the first thing that you need to do to start the process of getting influencers on your site? The first thing to do is to identify what sets you apart. This is called brand differentiation. There's a separate video on that. What makes you stand out? What sets you apart from the crowd? This is what you need to identify because this is what you need to communicate to the influencers. The other advantage is that once you understand what sets you apart, once you understand what differentiates your brand, um, you can use that information to find the right kind of influencers because influencer marketing is not just about going after influencers with the most number of followers or reach on Instagram. It's about the right kind of influencer that aligns with your brand, that aligns with your brand core values and your brand differentiation. An example. Let's say you are a fashion brand that wants to sell athleisure clothes. This is a big trend now. And in fact, we have a lot of our clients in that market segment. And most recently, in fact, we worked with one of our clients launch their brand on social media. And, so speaking from that experience, athleisure These are clothes that are worn by fitness enthusiasts, but also in a more casual manner. So these are not your die-hard kind of fitness or athletic enthusiasts or fans. These are more of the casual type. So you don't want to target the die-hard fans, the die-hard target audience. They're already being sold to by Nike and other performance brands. What you want to target is more the casual fitness, the lifestyle kind of target audience. So you need to identify the influencers that are targeting more of the casual lifestyle fitness kind of crowd. And then you need to approach them with what's different about your brand, with how you're differentiating your brand. So once you've identified these influencers, reach out to them. Influencers, of course, if they are in the business of making money, they will be open to partnerships. They'll be open to engagements, to contracts, to help promote brands. And if you identify the right kind of influencer, then they're more likely to sort of want to work with you. If their core values, if their target audience aligns with yours, then you're more likely to get engagement. And of course, influencer marketing requires budget. If you do not have any budget for marketing, then this strategy might be a little difficult to pull off. You could still, reach out to influencers and have them sort of help you promote your brand, maybe by mentioning you. But that has a limited scope. So if you have a little bit of budget for marketing, then influencer marketing is the way to go. Now, authenticity is the keyword. And you want to build authenticity. You want also your influencer to be authentically promoting your brand, not just as a paid endorsement, but rather as something that they truly believe in. And they will only believe in it if the core values and if your brand aligns with them. So this is very important. I know I'm repeating myself, but it is the key. It is the key. And that's where a lot of brands fail, because they approach influencers that are not aligned with them, and either they don't get a response, or even if they do engage them, the engagement, the campaign ends up being ineffective. It comes off as inauthentic. So let your influencer take over your Instagram stories. Let them, don't direct them too much. Let them have the creative freedom to sort of put their mark on it, because that will come off as authentic. That will work well with your target audience. Also, do plenty of research and prep work, before starting a campaign with an influencer. For instance, have a branded hashtag. Focus on building that branded hashtag. At least initially, you and your influencer should work towards getting that branded hashtag into the world. Let your influencers start using your branded hashtags. And then as a feedback loop for your own audience, you should also encourage them to use your branded hashtags. Come up with campaigns where you might give away something if people sort of use your product, and they can post a photo using the product, wearing your product, and then, of course, hashtagging your branded hashtag. And that becomes maybe like a wall of fame. Try to come up with incentives for people to use your branded hashtag. If you like tweeting an event, maybe, or a series of events, use your branded hashtag. That dovetails into giveaways and contests. Now, I know some people may be wary about giveaways and contests, and you might think that, well, your audience might think you're trying too hard, or it might come off as being fake. But if done well, giveaways and contests are really effective. They're powerful. And especially working with influencers, they would have quite a lot of impact. So work with your influencer, set up a logical giveaway, a logical contest that matches your brand. That's why I always emphasize sitting down and getting your brand strategy right. Your brand strategy is everything. Your positioning strategy is everything, because that document then gives you ideas when you're trying to come up with these campaigns on what to do. So let's say, for example, you want to give away a $150 gift card to your influencers audience. So they would like and follow your influencer. They also like and follow your brand, and maybe even tag a friend or two. And of course, there's always the branded hashtag. Now that could have a snowball effect, and that could build momentum. And that is the key to contests or giveaways, because you want to build a snowball effect. You want to build momentum. And if done well, your campaign can have a huge impact on increase in number of followers, engagement, brand awareness, and all that. So I know this video is not going into step by step on how to get your influence and build your influence. I will, in fact, that is a part of the brand builder course that I'm launching very soon. But this is just a primer. This is just to get you thinking about influencers, just to get you thinking about how to use influencers, how to plan for influencers in your Instagram marketing strategy. So if you have any questions about this, just hit me up on Twitter or leave a comment below. And maybe down the line, I will do another video where I go into detailed analysis of the steps on how to actually engage influencers and all that. If not, you can also check out my ultimate brand builder course that's coming out in a couple of months, and that will have a complete section on how to work with influencers. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Till the next one.